Hey guys, it's Rick here with Gateway to Airguns, AirgunWeb. For Let's Talk Airguns, we are at the 58th Daisy Nationals, and I have Randy here. Did I get it right this time?
Randy, not
Randy.
not Brian.
I've been calling him Brian for like 2 days. Son of a gun. This is Randy, and I know better because we chatted on the phone a little while ago. Yeah, over some other fun stuff. But we are here to talk about some cool Crosman product. And Randy has been with Crosman some 14 years. Is that
14.
Right?
Yeah, around 14.
And you have engineering experience, manufacturing experience, product development, just customer support, all kinds of fun stuff. The whole gamut.
Well-rounded, we'll call it.
So we thought we'd talk a little bit about some of the products used here at Nationals, and now with Crosman part of the family, we've got the Crosman Challenger.
Yeah, yes we do. Daisy Crosman merged.
Yeah.
And with that, they got the flagship Crosman gun, PCP the Challenger. This is actually the third iteration of the Challenger, going all the way back to the year 2000. Then we had the 2009, now the 2021.
Okay, now I have a 2009. We have determined that because of what it looks like, the photo and everything. This is different. This is completely different.
Night and day different. I'm not saying the other Challengers were not good guns.
They were great guns.
This is in a league of its own though. And if you just look at the ergonomics of the gun,
right,
it pretty closely resembles a precision level rifle.
It's far more precision than Sporter. And that's how I would say it. It's certainly Sporter-esque, but it's more precision.
It is absolutely Sporter legal.
Yeah, okay.
And that was intentional. The engineer that designed it, John Sopietro, brilliant guy, he wanted to take it as far as he could toward precision, but still be Sporter legal, because that gives a shooter an advantage because they're already used to a precision type gun.
So when they transition
it's a better
over,
lead-in.
When they transition. So I'm a fan of the 599 Daisy. I like that gun. It's not regulated though. It's correct, but it's BSA at its core, and BSA has an exceptional valve system. Their hammer valve, all that stuff is amazing, and I absolutely love it. And my wife's phone's going off. It's hard to find good help. And while I say that, I'm going to mute my phone
and hand it to me
and hand it to her so I don't do something similar. Anyway, no, in all seriousness, I love that. It's more Sporter though.
Yep.
Where this is, again, Sporter legal, but more precision. So when you're wanting to advance from that straight Sporter into some 10-meter precision, you're
that much further ahead.
Yeah, you're kind of already going in that direction.
Correct.
And we've got kids here now that are shooting 3-position, but it's going to be an easy transition to go from that into collegiate precision rifle.
And then hopefully, ultimately, the Olympic podium.
Yeah, that would be amazing. I mean, the fact...
Well, if you look at youth shooting sports, it all starts with Daisy with a 499.
Yep.
And then you're going to get into the Sporter with the Challenger.
Yep.
That's why we wanted the Sporter very much precision-esque. I love your word.
Yep.
Because it's a lead-in to collegiate, which is going to be precision. Then from precision, you're going into the Olympics.
What's price point on something like that?
Price point on this for the majority of the folks here that are 4H, American Legion, it's going to be $650.
Okay.
Retail right around $7, $8, depending on where you buy it.
Okay, and does that include the sights? Or
that includes the sights.
Okay, because those are some nice sights.
Yeah, out of the box, ready to go.
Sights.
All you need is a charging system. Well, electric compressor, scuba gear.
And the cool thing, again, with the acquisition, we're going to talk about that more and more. I know this morning we talked to a bunch of the competitors. Today we've been talking to the representatives of different companies and whatever. But that synergy between the two companies, Gammo had some PCP stuff, but you guys had PCP stuff. And you also had the way to fill them, right? So I've actually got the Recharge back in Texas. And that's a really cool little compressor. It's
a workhorse.
It's expensive.
It's a workhorse.
But it's also meant to be like filling your bottles.
You're filling bottles.
Yeah, I mean,
yes, the Recharge
it's really
good. Is the big boy of our compressors. It will absolutely fill a gun.
Oh, yeah.
Absolutely no problem, but it's heavy duty, robust enough that you can fill a scuba tank with.
Yeah, and that's what I'm going to be using it for. And I believe it does like the 74 cubic foot or whatever they are.
Absolutely.
Yeah, it does those. But anyway, This gun here, why don't we talk a little bit about, what makes this special? Because the Challenger I have is not regulated,
Correct.
the 2009. So this iteration has a new stock, has a lot of new features.
If I can go ahead and take the conversation.
You go right ahead.
Okay, obviously you're looking at the stock, very precision-esque.
Yep.
I'm going to plagiarize that.
You can have it. Dude, I will share it with you. Definitely precision-esque. Absolutely.
It's very precision-esque, so you have multiple points of adjustability, right down to the point with the length of pull. The gun comes stock with an extension of this, much longer for a very tall shooter. Your cheek weld is pretty much dictated because your sights are constant. They're on that plane. You're adjusting somebody's cheekbone with the height, so you got a ton of adjustment there. On the palm swell, that comes back and forth. Your trigger is fully adjustable, 2-stage. In poundage, it'll tilt, and then you can literally adjust, and they will adjust very finely. Your first stage, you can make it short, long. You can adjust the second stage for the brake.
Essentially the Marauder trigger?
Essentially with an improvement because it has a adjustable trigger shoe for cant.
Yes.
You can put cant in it. And this trigger as well, you can bring the trigger back. So if you have a very small hand, you're not reaching for the trigger, you can put the trigger in a better position.
Shooting position is actually super critical because
very critical.
If you're taken out of your natural shooting alignment or your natural shooting position, you're working against yourself.
Yep.
So anything that can help you match that natural shooting position.
The gun has to be, and I tell shooters and I tell coaches, because I travel all over the place. And I go to the CMP. I'm here at the Nationals. Last week I was at the 4-H Nationals in Nebraska. So I get around.
Cool job.
It is a very cool job, let me tell you. But I get the opportunity to watch the students, watch the shooters, talk to the coaches. And I don't profess to be some expert marksman, but I definitely have the fundamentals down. And I watch kids get in position with the gun, and prone is the best to see them do it because you see them put the gun up to the shoulder and then they start moving their body and their head and their alignment. If a gun's truly adjusted to a shooter, you can close your eyes, shoulder the gun, open your eyes, and you're looking right down the sights. You're not pulling or lifting or...
And that's
why this is so adjustable, and to dovetail off your form is critical.
Absolutely.
To repeatability.
Yeah, if you have to fight, and I tell people when they come out to the range, because I like working with new shooters, people that don't have the experience, but they want to get better, they want to have success. So getting them on a rest or getting them on something that is comfortable and easy. When I see them trying to fight the rest, I say, just stop.
Stop.
Take your hands off the gun. If you're fighting the rest or you're fighting the position, you're working against yourself. So let's get that in position where you're just naturally coming into it, and you're not having to. If you're having to do this and get contorted,
if you're contorting yourself, you're not going to be repeatable. And that's the beautiful thing about this stock. It can absolutely be adjusted to anybody. I don't care how tall you are or how small you are.
It's really
the balance of the gun over the CH 2009, the second iteration of the Challenger, it's not as nose heavy. They weigh the exact same amount, 7.2 pounds.
Okay.
But its balance is more center balance. So you can take a smaller arm shooter, and it's not like they're trying to lift the gun.
Gotcha.
The gun has better center balancing, phenomenal balancing actually. And to talk about the gun a little bit, over the older model, this is a 3,000 PSI regulated fill. Okay, and you can fill the gun. You don't have to fill it to 3,000. You can fill it to 2,000 if your PCP tanks only go to 3. It doesn't care if it's at 3 or if it's 2. It's regulated. What you're gaining from the 2,000 PSI to the 3,000 PSI is shot count.
What's the reg set to? Do you know off the top of your head?
Right around 900.
Okay, all right. So if you fill to 2,000, you got 1,000 PSI to play with.
Yeah.
You fill to 3,000, you got 2,000 PSI to play with.
And I tell people to stop at 1,000 because you get that little wiggle room.
Yep.
You don't want to drop. You don't want to come up against the regulator.
Yeah, you don't want to drop below the reg. Then you just it goes.
So I tell people to really utilize this gun as John designed it, is to fill it to 3, shoot it all the way down to 1, then go refill the gun. But you're looking at easily 325, 350 shots.
Yeah, I was going to say, because at 900 psi, that's almost like CO2 pressure.
Yep.
I mean, really, the original Challenger was CO2.
Was CO2?
So,
correct.
And CO2 lives. Okay, we're using generalities here, but CO2 lives under pressure. It's 900 psi, plus or minus a little bit.
Yep,
right?
depending on temperature.
Exactly. But then this is really, and CO2 is super consistent. It's self-regulating, essentially. The gas is self-regulating. That's why it was so good, as long as your
temperature didn't change.
As long as your environment stayed consistent, CO2 was self-regulating based on its natural state. But this gives you that. But yeah, you just basically are running CO2 pressure, but you're running air.
Correct.
And you would get a ton of shots out of that. I'm just trying to think in my head. You're going to get a lot of shots. I mean, a whole lot of shots, because you're not
with
pushing.
This gun.
Yeah.
I say 325 minimum. I've seen past 350.
So yeah, I mean,
and that's pellet dependent, gun dependent. Not all guns are tuned identical. Leaving the factory, you're going to be 540 to 560, somewhere in there.
What's the CMP, or what's the
600.
Max?
You got to stop at 6.
All right.
Can't go past 6.
All right, because I know some places are like 495, so I didn't know where you guys were on that. All right. All right, and you can micro tune this?
You can micro tune this, John, just like the Marauders.
Yep.
Right through the side of the compression tube, you have a metering screw.
Yeah, okay.
So you can take a given pellet and say you always shoot that brand pellet, but you're in a different lot.
Yeah.
And your group opens up. That pellet may want to go a little slower, it may want to go a little faster, but you can adjust that. I mean,
fine-tune
small increments of that metering screw to bring that group back in.
Yeah, cool. All right. So it's designed to be it's not designed for you to go turn this up to 11, go hunting with it. That
no,
is not
absolutely not. If you open this thing up wide open throttle, you're a little over 600.
Yeah, okay.
A pesting gun, extremely accurate.
It'd be
for
fun,
pesting,
like for mice and rats.
But you better be pretty close.
Yeah, 10, 15 yards.
It's a precision target gun. It's not a hunting rifle.
Well, you have precision hunting rifles. I mean, you go get the Marauder with the Lothar Walther or whatever, or the Armada, which is one of my favorites. You can do that. But this is precision 10 meter.
This is purpose built.
Yeah.
This is purpose built for the youth shooting sports, 3P, and at the 4-H Nationals, quite a few kids shooting silhouette. Use it for shooting silhouette.
Cool.
A little bit of a rainbow trajectory, but that's okay. So it was a 45-70.
Yeah, right. Exactly.
Right? I mean, it just comes down to repeatability. We'll repeat that velocity over and over, and that's what this was designed
the more
to
consistent, if you have consistency, you can judge accuracy.
Exactly.
It's really consistent.
Exactly.
As long as you got a stable pellet and everything's leaving consistently.
Everything is constant. It's going to do what it was meant to do.
And you were telling me this has got a Lothar Walther barrel?
Lothar Walther barrel, that is correct.
So you got match barrel. The trigger's match trigger. I have lots of experience with that trigger design.
I'm sure you've tinkered with those a lot.
Yeah, I have. Yeah. So that's very, very cool. I think it's a really great platform, and I haven't been over to Air Rifle because we've been streaming, but I want to go over there tomorrow and take a little peek.
I know you know a lot about air guns.
Sure, yeah.
Okay, I'm talking to an equal, or you know more.
Yeah.
Okay. So you take a Marauder, you have all the adjustability on the back of the tube. You can adjust hammer stroke, you can adjust hammer spring pre-tension. We took all of that away with this gun.
Yeah. So all you have is
we gave it one velocity, and that's the metering screw.
Right.
That's where John he put that govern in there. So there's no adjusting in the back being regulated. It is adjusted out of the factory for optimum performance.
For precision.
For precision,
yes,
exactly. Exactly. So being purpose built,
that's what it's for.
you don't need all that adjustment. You can still adjust the velocity within a small window, but you can adjust the velocity. You know?
That's very cool.
And the nice thing about it is I can literally tell by sound when I hear people shooting the second generation of the Challenger, the 2009, who's tried to adjust their gun, didn't quite know what they were doing. They took a crack at it, and I can tell by the report on the gun, I can tell how well it's tuned. And then you watch them going and getting air prematurely. They're wasting air. And for simplicity's sake, and every gun in a coach's armory is going to be the same gun, same gun, same gun. I'll tell you a cute story, and this is a true story, okay? About a year ago, I'm up in Camp Perry. And this coach comes to me with this young shooter, and she is distraught. She is very upset because the gun had a catastrophic failure. Okay, there was nothing I could do, simple adjustment sitting there. At a table like this, I'm just representing, I'm not a repair guy, okay? So I looked at her coach and I says, you know, I got a display gun here. I go, I know it's a good gun, holds air. I go, it just sits here. I go, how about we take your stock and your sights, take my action, stick it in your stock, put your sights on my action. And because leaving the factory, the velocity is pretty much there. They're almost the same. She went and shot, and she ended up placing 5th.
Yeah, there you go.
That was with my action, my barrel, my gun, my trigger pack. From my display stand, she went and finished the match.
That's cool.
So I just want to point out the repeatability.
Well, we will be getting, guys, just so we will be getting one of these in for testing. And I know Sue.
Oh, please do.
I know Sue is like, she loves the peep sights.
You like the double aperture?
Yeah, she likes the diopter sights. She likes them. So she is going to be looking forward.
Sorry, wrong way.
She's going to be looking
So who's the better shooter? Rick, stop.
Yeah.
Who's? She's smiling. I just learned. Love
so
it.
Who's the better shooter, hon?
Personally, I think he is. Consistently, he is. But because I only shoot so rarely, when I shoot, I think I'm the better shot.
She has, when she shoots her gun, she's very good. But I shoot
He can
many
50 different guns. Yeah, so
well, let me tell you,
proficient with a lot of
when I first started at Crosman, I don't know that much about air guns. I grew up around them, but I wasn't in that business. You were one of the first YouTube channels I followed. Loved them.
Pretty cool.
Loved them. So I've actually seen your videos all the way up through, and I think it's amazing what you've done, what you've become, and what you give to the air gun community. I want to give you hats off for that.
I appreciate that.
That's bigger than people realize, and people don't see the behind the scenes that I do. And just hear all the work you're doing with everybody, taking the time. I see the way you talk to the kids and the coaches and all the administrators. I know you get it. It's fun, and I find it fun too, but I don't think people have an appreciation for the amount of work that goes into that and the dedication. And because you do that, hats off to you, because you're helping me support youth shooting sports.
Well, let's kind of wrap up this with that discussion, because that is huge. The reason Sue and I are here, as I've said, I'm very open to say we are sponsored by Iconic and Gammo, Daisy, Crosman, Benjamin, which is great. But we're here because we want to be here, and we love being here. And a lot of this time and effort we're putting in is I can't say we're volunteers. We are sponsored, but it's not our market rate. Let me just put it that way, okay? But we enjoy doing it because, one, the experience is pretty awesome.
It is. It's one of our favorite events.
We love
it's
watching,
amazing. This is my first time here. It's amazing. Yeah. It's amazing.
We love watching the kids. I like watching the Daisy personnel and the Crosman personnel now. Like, you guys are, like, you're in it. I mean, you're like invested in it.
This is what we do.
It's not just punching a time clock. I wish I could convey that better. But you have a group of people that really care about the sport and shooting sports and youth shooting sports. And I remember we talked, I was actually having a problem with the product. You gave me some advice. We got it sorted out. It's great. Easy fix. It was wonderful. But when you were telling me about all the places you go in support of youth sporting,
oh yeah,
that's a commitment.
Did you attend one of my
I did not
courses
go into,
on
I
the
did
Challenger?
not. I did not.
God, I wish you would have. I have a lot of fun doing it.
Yeah.
I try to do like a stand-up comedian act, and kind of
All right.
Well,
Next
you
year.
get a lot of participation, and people remember what they hear because they associate it to something and they had fun doing it.
Yeah.
You know, but that's my biggest thing. I want to educate, and I want to make people educate them, make them more knowledgeable. The more knowledgeable they are about this gun, how to maintain it, how to use it properly, how to care for it, their team, their youth shooters, are going to be more successful in the long run.
Well, that's awesome, and I mean, it is a great. Yes, Sue.
I have a question for you.
Okay, let me just finish.
Course online.
Say again.
That course that you do, is it online?
No. I just do it. Honestly, I don't have like a curriculum. I just do it on the fly.
You just wing it?
I wing it.
Yeah.
But when you live this world, it's pretty easy to wing it, you know. But a lot of it's the feedback I'm getting. Because not every coach is at a different level. I have coaches that have been tearing down PCP guns for years. I have coaches that have no idea what they're looking at. So I'm catering to all. So I try to, the questions I'm getting tell me to go where I go with the class.
Yeah. Well, this is a fairly straightforward platform.
Very straightforward.
I've been taking apart Crosman guns for a long time.
Yep.
There's not a lot of variation there from, say, the Marauder in the core.
It's very Marauder-esque.
Yeah, and so I would imagine it's a fairly straightforward process, and it's a simple platform to work on. It's probably easy to maintain for a lot of folks that maybe are not mechanically inclined. It's actually pretty straightforward.
Well, I'm sure you're going to get one.
Yeah,
and I'm sure you're going to tear it apart.
I really don't want to have to.
Well, I'm sure you're gonna, Rick. I know you're gonna.
Maybe.
But when you get in that tube, you're gonna love the captive hammer.
Okay.
Which I want to talk about that for a sec.
Go ahead.
I talked about the no adjustment in the back. That's because it has a captive hammer.
Okay.
And you know when you get a gun out of tune, a PCP, you can get it to burp after the shot. Yeah. This cannot do it. Absolutely impossible. And being a captive hammer, it takes all that adjustment out.
You don't need it.
You don't need it. It takes it all out.
Yeah, the idea
makes it more efficient.
Yeah, I mean, because really what happens, guys, those that tune know this, but those that don't, the reason you have that adjustment in the hammer on not on a gun like this, but on a normal gun is you want more. The harder you hit the valve, the more longer you get to stay open, the more power you get, et cetera, et cetera. Well, it comes with a cost. It comes at a cost of efficiency. It comes at a cost of reciprocal motion because, believe it or not, any motion in a gun can cause that shot.
Your hammer stroke, that increases your lock time.
All of that stuff matters. So when you take those out of the equation, and a lot of places, I don't know if this is the same thing, but you can have a floating hammer, which actually just throws the hammer at it.
Yep.
And it doesn't. There's no energy holding that on it.
Yep, nothing.
It sort of just tosses it. So it's pretty cool what you can do these days. The idea that this is purpose built for just the precision is awesome. The youth shooting sports and the support of that is awesome. The fact that now this competition is open to the challenger means that's why they have almost twice as many air rifle contestants this year than last year, which is very, very cool.
But the ones that are here are outright amazing.
Yeah.
Outright amazing.
And I see that part of the competition growing further. Here's another question we didn't discuss. I'm throwing you a curveball here. Do you do anything with like the precision pistol?
Yeah, we have a 1701P. Me personally, I have not been fully vested in it. Okay. Last week in Nebraska at the 4-H Nationals was my first true exposure to the silhouette pistol. Not the silhouette pistol. I built them for years, but as far as in use at a competition.
Right. Okay.
And they're using them for silhouette. They're using them for paper target.
I'd be curious to see if they expand this to pistol too, because it's another Olympic discipline.
Very true.
So, if you've got this gateway to precision, maybe they can do something with the pistols. Might be fun. I don't know if they can do.
I would be open to slingshots, Rick, if it gets youth into shooting sports.
That's funny. Yeah, I'm with you.
It could be straws with spitballs. I don't care.
Yeah, I got you.
But the reason is when you look at youth shooting sports, you look at these kids all around us. You see the maturity level, the responsibility. You're seeing 8, 9, 10, 14-year-old kids that conduct themselves.
It is pretty amazing.
Like they're much older.
It is
that's what the
amazing,
youth shooting sports does. It teaches responsibility and accountability. So yeah, I'm open to it. I'd love to throw axes too. I mean, okay, Rick.
I don't know. That might be pushing it.
Well, that'd be fun.
Competition,
That
but
would be fun.
I could see that maybe like the coaches having an axe throwing contest. I could see that, but maybe not the kids. Let's spare them from that one.
How about the wife?
She could throw an axe. I think she'd like that. Knife throwing, axe throwing.
Yeah.
Did you go to range day with us one year, Sue? Did you go SHOT Show range day?
I did go to range day a couple times.
Did we go? Did we throw the buck knives?
Yeah, I did.
See, she does throw knives.
Yeah, but I wasn't any good at it.
That's right. You just need practice, huh?
Megan was better at it.
Well, that's Megan, right? That's her sister.
She's better at everything.
But anyway, let's go ahead and wrap this up. Thank you for coming over.
Absolutely.
And I'm gonna
I wouldn't
remember
have missed it for the world.
It's Randy.
Randy, not
Brian.
Brian Hutchinson loves it. He's our official armor. He loves it. But Randy, he doesn't want to be me.
Okay, Randy, not Brian. Randy, thank you so much, man, for coming over, for bringing your awesome Challenger over here. I can't wait to get my hands on one. We're going to put Sue on it, let her do some shooting. We're
so
back
you're
on.
Live.
We're live.
You're
okay.
ready
Well, we had a bit of a computer glitch. It's just par for the course, right? But we were wrapping things up, and we were talking about, the value of the youth shooting sports and just the value of events like this, products like that. All the various competitions, the work that you do across the board. So, I don't know if you have any final words you want to say. I mean, you are a new acquisition to the Gammo Daisy family. So,
correct.
So I don't know if you have any final words you want to say in that realm or that regard, with regards to this event or whatnot. And then we can go ahead and wrap this up. But, first of all, it's been great having you. Great talking about the gun and. Great getting to know you. I know we talked on the phone, but getting to meet you in person it's been a lot of fun. So did you have anything else you wanted to add before we go ahead and wrap this up?
I just want to put a plug out there for youth shooting sports. It's not just about the shooting. Yeah, that's pretty cool. We know that, okay? But it's you're taking youth, you're instilling discipline, responsibility. You're giving them uniformity.
Yep.
You're just teaching young kids all the right thing, and the youth shooting sports is a great tool to do it.
Yeah.
You watch the kids running around here. You see a 5-year-old, 8-year-old shooter, 10-year-old shooter. They conduct themselves as a 15, 16-year-old. They a higher maturity level.
It's true.
Very respectful, and that's because of all the work the coaches put in them, and this is the tool they did it with.
That's pretty.
You got to take a lot of pride in that.
Yeah,
you're giving back. You're giving back to a younger generation, and hopefully steering them in the right direction.
It's awesome, and I think that's going to wrap it up. And it is Randy, not Brian.
Correct.
You have to get your T-shirt, Randy, not Brian. That's just me. For whatever reason, I had that really confused.
It's okay, John. Don't worry about it.
Right. There we go. Beautiful. But yeah, it's been great having you on. I look forward to seeing you here another day. Are you going home
I fly out Friday.
So
I'll be here all week.
All right. Yeah, we head out Friday too. So we're going to wrap this up, and we're going to go and relocate for Barter Bar. You haven't done that yet, have you?
No, I haven't.
That'll be fun.
But I've heard the stories, so I'm pretty excited.
Overload.
It's going to be fun. Yeah, wear earplugs. It's going to be a lot of fun. We're going to wrap it up. This is Rick here with AirgunWeb Gateway to Airguns. We're at the 58th Daisy Nationals in Rogers, Arkansas. We've having a great time. We hope you guys have been enjoying the videos, and we will see you here in a little bit as we go set up at the Barter Bar. Randy, thank you, bro. All right, guys.
Pleasure.
See ya.